This week we learned about the vibrant deaf community along with the collision between culture and disability. Learning about these showed me different ways people can defy the odds and prove people wrong about how being deaf means you cannot do things that hearing people can do. When reading about and looking at websites about the vibrant deaf community, I learned many different solutions for effective living for people in the deaf community. Some of these consist of social activities, athletic events, political functions, social gatherings, special interest groups, and many more. These types of different solutions can provide people in the deaf community with social and cultural activities, opportunities to express themselves in political ways, and also give them opportunities to play against hearing people and deaf people and compete in national and regional titles for sports. During this chapter, we also learn how it means to be of the for the community and of the community. People that are of the community can be like people in the Alexander Graham Bell Association for the Deaf. These people are just trying to advocate for the deaf, but they're also seeing them as disabled and they need help and they need fixed, and they're trying to find ways to fix them when all they need to do is just help and advocate for them and show them that deaf people in this world are still meant to be in this world no matter how they are. An example of somebody for the community, for the deaf community, would be somebody such as the NAD, which is a consumer-based organization. These are just trying to help advocate for deaf people and show that deaf people are trying to be a part of this world too. And NAD is a consumer-based organization, and also most of their paid staff and their representatives are deaf and a part of the deaf community. Learning about this can help me become a better advocate for people in the deaf community because I now know different options and ways people in the deaf community can be involved in the world today. Next thing we learn about this week is the collision between culture and disability. After reading and watching the lecture videos, I heard things that I've heard before in this world today, such as the lecture. It was talked about how people saw being deaf as a disability and they can use that disability to not be able to get somebody a job over somebody who is less qualified than them. The next thing we learned about is the areas of convergence and divergence in the deaf community today. Areas of convergence is people trying to stop people from viewing people with any type of disability, especially as deaf, which is not really a disability, as someone needing to be fixed and changed and see them as a cultural entity instead. Having people do this has made the dialogue about disabled people and deaf people go from a medical model to a cultural model now instead. Areas of divergence in the book shows that a person does not have a disability that is put in the disabled community will make them feel disabled and also become disabled. These results from not getting the exposure to the whole world like they should be. Lastly, in this section, in the lecture video, we learned about different types of people who defied the odds and became things that people said they couldn't, even though they were deaf. We learned about the first deaf vet, the first deaf black lawyer. We also learned about the first deaf linguist. I can't pronounce that word, and many more. Learning about these people showed me that being deaf is a small obstacle in becoming and being able to achieve your lifelong goals that you've always wanted to have. Learning about all this can help me become a better advocate for people in the deaf community because now I have a better knowledge and understanding of how deaf people feel being labeled disabled and how I can help stop the label and show that people, deaf individuals, can do anything they can. Thank you.